Hi, race fans, and welcome back to Rauscher Racing Weekly, where we have just returned from the 2021 edition of the West Coast Nationals at with the Red Bluff Outlaws. What was it? You guys went over Wednesday,
Yeah, we left Wednesday afternoon after fixing the trailer.
right? Right. Yeah, you guys came out and picked up Blake and headed over the hill early.
And got there, got our pit spot, dropped the trailer early. And then we showed up Friday after you guys got over the hill.
Right. Yeah, we left at like 5 o'clock Thursday morning.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah.
And it was raining.
Yeah, it rained and snowed on us the whole way over. So.
Yeah, it was the first rain we have had to experience at Red Bluff with actually racing there. So.
Right. Yeah, you guys got a taste of what's normal for Red Bluff.
Yep.
So, and any other time we've been to Red Bluff for Nationals, it rains from the moment you put the trailer door down to 10, 11 o'clock at night when you load the cars up and you shut the door, then it quits raining. And then as soon as you unload the cars the next day, it rains again. I don't know what it is with the weather at that place. But
yeah, it was weird. But
right.
Thursday was practice. I was glad to see that all the boys were able to practice.
Right. Yeah, we sent Blake over with you early because we weren't sure if we were going to get there in time for practice, and Blake needed more seat time than Evan.
Yeah.
Because Evan had ran 4, 5, 6 races there this
he's
year.
He's been running there pretty consistent the last half of the year.
Right. Yeah. So we sent Blake over early with you, and luckily, like I said, we were able to get there early enough for Evan to get strapped in and get some seat time too for the weekend. So
yeah, it was just a little different format on Thursday than what we were used to, because they did run another race. They're the cage clones,
right,
which normally aren't there, and they were able to get practice. It was run. If you got off the track quick enough, you get right back in line and get another session. That's
right.
What Brent did. He did 2 in a row, and he was like, "I'm good. I'm done."
Right. Yeah. He got the whole season.
Yeah,
under his belt there. So
we were able to hit on a little bit of stuff there.
Right.
And then Blake, he looked pretty good for knocking the rust off. And
right. He had some speed when he unloaded. He wasn't by far the slowest car out there, but still popping wheelies.
Oh yeah, it was still wheelie time.
So yeah, we made a few adjustments, and he got all 3 practices in that he could get in. The first one, he come off the track and he's flopping his clutch handle around. He goes, "I got no clutch." Turns out we pulled the side cover off, and the clutch actuator lever where the cable goes in had actually split in half.
Yeah, how often do you break one of those?
I don't know. I've never seen it with a cart, but apparently they do because people had spares at the track. So he spent some money, got a new one. Didn't put it in. We actually repaired the broken one. I have the new one somewhere here in the shop, but
welded it up and stuck it back in.
Right. Yeah. So Blake improved over his 3 sessions of practice, and then Evan, he unloaded with the same speed he had. He was
bummed out.
He was a little out of sorts because Blake running, popping wheelies and carrying him down the straightaway was still faster than he was. So I think the difference in their speed is the way that they're both built. Not the cars, but the drivers.
Yeah.
So Evan doesn't have to have any lead on his cart, where Blake has to have to make weight, but Blake has to have 5 pounds of weight to make weight. So,
same thing with Brent. You see kids in the 250 class that are little twiggly short kids, and then you got Brent. We have no lead on his car, and he's over by about 20 pounds of the minimum.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, Evan tows that minimum around with him, so he's way over. But I think that's the 2 differences. So Evan has to work a little bit harder at getting the speed. His setup has to be just that much better. But either way, like I said, all 3 kids had decent speed. Evan by far wasn't the slowest kid at the track when he unloaded at first. So,
and then we rolled into Friday where we had the boys had to draw uphill to see where they got to pick.
Right. Yeah, they didn't pill draw for where they started. They pill drew for where they got to go up and pick what heat race they wanted to be in and where they wanted to start in that lineup. Now, this race had passing points. So for every, I'm not sure exactly how their breakdown was, but say for every car, like if you started last out of 10 cars, every spot you passed was worth 10 points. And every spot, if you started on the pole and you lost a spot, every spot you lost give you negative points. You lost points by starting.
You lost a 1.5 per spot you lost.
Right. So
Brent didn't get that luxury. What he drew is where he started.
Right. Yeah. The 250s didn't get that.
Which he got kind of where he wanted to be. He wanted to be kind of in the middle of the field, because for the second heat race that they were going to run, it was a full invert.
Right. Yeah. If you started up front in the first one, you started in the back of the second one, and vice versa, or anywhere in between. They inverted everything completely. So I think Blake chose fourth, I think is where he wanted to start. So when he switched, when they inverted him, he moved to like third. He moved from the outside row to the inside row, which to me is the best spot. You can still gain points, you can still lose points. Where Evan didn't realize what he had done, he went up and put himself last, and then goes back, and I'm like, man, you got a chance to get some really good passing points, but when you go out and run that second one, you better try to run away from him, because you're going to lose points for every spot you lose. And so he was like, oh man, I didn't realize what I had done. but
And then in that first heat race, Blake had some issues with the setup, wheelies.
Yeah, his
people.
Yeah, both the boys had issues, which I know for a fact you'll hear about. But yeah, in the heat races, I don't think Blake finished his first heat.
I don't think so. I think he was 2 yellows and done.
Yeah, I think so. But that's been how Blake's year at Red Bluff has gone. Where Evan, man, he started dead last in his heat race, and he made quick work of the first 4 cars in front of him. And he was up to third. Like, he was running down the top 2 cars when he made a little driving mistake and lost 1 spot coming to the checker and ended up 4th. So that give him good points. And then and Blake's second heat race, I don't know if he even finished that one.
I don't think so.
It was kind of rough on him, still working the bugs out. So I think Blake didn't have very good. He was sitting like 28th in points going in, or after the second set of heat races. Where Evan, like I said, he started on the pole for his second heat, and he did his best to drive off. He led the first couple of laps, and a caution came out. I think, from the outside watching, he took the wrong lane, because the leader can choose inside or outside on the restart, and he went to the inside, and the leader jumped him, or the outside guy jumped him and took the lead away from him. Where Evan hung with him, the kid didn't necessarily run off and hide.
No, he
made Evan work to keep up, but Evan held his own, and he only lost that 1 point.
Yeah, if the kid would have made a mistake, Evan was right there to capitalize.
Right, exactly.
And then Brent's first heat race, he started 4th. I think he finished 5th. He lost 1 spot.
Right.
And then his second heat race, he started 3rd. He dropped a spot on the green, but coming to the checkered, he was able to battle back. He finished 3rd, so he lost no points, but he didn't gain any points.
Right.
Which I think it put him sitting 11th in points, 11th or 12th after the second heat race.
Right. Yeah, he was 11th or 12th. Evan, he was 7th, I think, at the end of the first night.
Yep.
So, and Blake was 20-something. So, didn't start off the greatest. Started off with some attitudes and a lot of work for everybody to do to get things through, but they managed it. So.
Yep.
Welcome back to Rauscher Racing Weekly. I'm Blake Rauscher, and we are here at the Red Bluff Outlaws for the running of the West Coast Nationals. We are going to be down here for 3 more days after today. Today is just our practice day, so later, like all the classes, they get to come out on the track, and we get to run some laps and test out what we have, make sure we know what's going on. I know these two are not going to do much practice, but I haven't got many laps this season here, so I'm going to get out there and get some run time.
How Blake said, we're only here for practice, but also today they're running a legend class or a clone class. That would be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure he's trying to see if he can finagle his way in there and run it in the 250 classes, take off the wing and run that. So yeah, besides that, we have the promoter of cycling here helping out with track prep. It sounds like I've kind of heard them talking a little bit and him trying to get it so it's not so dusty and the track doesn't take as rubber as fast, because even on a normal night the track takes a lot of rubber, and there's going to be a lot more cars probably here, and with 3 days of racing it's just going to take a lot of rubber because they can't get as much track prep in each night as they can normally throughout the week. But besides that, I think today's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, There's gonna be a practice day today. It's gonna be very fun to try and figure some stuff out. We haven't really had a day all year where we can just go out and not have to worry about lap times. We can make adjustments. We can try and tighten. We can loosen. We can take the kitchen sink and we throw it in the car and see if it'll work. But we haven't really been able to do that this season because of the stretcher running for points. We had a setup that would work for each part of the track and the way it was changing. So we're gonna try some stuff. I'm hopefully gonna run one and done for practice today, and we are gonna have fun at West Coast Nationals and see if all three of us boys can make the main event.
Here we are at West Coast Nationals. We got it. Everything's unloaded. It's raining. So we got the heater going. It's a little chilly here. We got Fast 4 on replay on the TV in the trailer. But I think we're ready to go get practice underway and knock the rust off of this guy, and we'll see what happens.
I'm just sitting here watching Fast Forward, thinking about how I want the weekend to go. Hopefully we can keep the car under control and not wreck. I just want to go out there today and practice and learn, because I haven't got many laps. I'm just hoping everything goes good.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching Fast 4 media, trying to think of stuff, how I want the weekend to go. Basically, if I can make the B at least, that's a win, but we're really looking to make the main event and be in the big show and just learn and go into next season at Red Bluff here in a couple of months after this race. We are just trying to have fun at West Coast Nationals. If we make the A main event, it'll be very cool. If we don't, we'll go to the next race and have fun.
Hi everybody, I'm down here at West Coast Nationals, my first time, and I'm down here with the grandkids and supporting all three of them. So I'm kind of excited, other than it's wet and plenty of rain. So I'm sitting inside the trailer just staying warm until practice gets ready to start. Hope for all of them to have a good day.
just got done with practice at Red Bluff. Didn't really talk too much. The car felt pretty good when I went out for the first session. I know you guys didn't see the second session that I ran. We didn't quite plan on running it until I didn't actually use the throttle. So we'll head into tomorrow. Tomorrow should technically be night number 1 of West Coast Nationals. Tonight was just practice. We are in the hotel room. Just got done eating some Mexican. So we will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Welcome back to Rauscher Racing Weekly. I'm Blake Rauscher, and we're here at the Red Bluff Outlaws here at night number 2, our first night of racing. And stuff is about to get underway here in a little bit. Mud Pack is going to start here in not too long, and right now we're about to go do our pill draw type thing. Well, we already pulled this morning. I pulled a 17, and they're doing a weird layout this year. So you pull that number, and based on so I'm 17, so if there's people in front of me, I could be the 17th driver to pick where I want to start for my heat race. It's really weird how they're doing it this year. So I get to pick what heat race I want and where I want to start. So we're about to go do that, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna go hopefully the second heat race, and then maybe I think I want to be mid-pack because they don't really flop, because tonight we're doing 1 heat race, which is different than usual. Usually they do the first 2 heat races tonight and then the pole shuffles and stuff, but they're not doing that, so it's just 1 heat race. I'm thinking I want to be in the middle, so when we do our second race tomorrow, when they invert, I don't invert at all. I just stay right there in the middle. So yeah, we do that, and then we have our 1 heat race, and we're done for tonight. That's all we get to do. That's all we're gonna do. So hopefully tonight goes really good. We set the car up yesterday, and I think we're gonna do a lot better than we have here in the past.
Yeah, so how Blake said, this is our first night of racing. I don't know how really the pill draw thing works. So it's maybe a thing where you get to pick what heat race you start in and where you start at in the heat race. I think it was just going to be the one where you only get to pick the heat race and they kind of line you up for you, but I don't know. We have to see how that works. But yesterday practice didn't go really good for me. I was the slowest car in every single time. It felt good. That was not fast whatsoever. We got Blake's car moving pretty good. In one of his fastest sessions, he went quick time for most of it, so that's pretty cool for him. But besides that, I just hope today we can actually finish the race, because here in the past I have not been able to finish the heat race because I either break or spin out or whatever, so hopefully this time it does not happen.
Wherever the world may take you, choose Christensen Automotive.
Welcome back from Commercial Race Fans. I am Brent Rauscher, driver of the 16250. And my practice session, it went okay. I didn't hold it wide open all the way around. I lifted a little bit. So I know if the track's like it was for my first session for practice to hold it wide open. I pulled like a 49 or 50, so I'll start in the back of one heat race in the front of the next. So tonight we're just running 1 and done. We're running 8 laps and put it back in the trailer and then watch some other races and then go back to the hotel. So then tomorrow we'll roll off for heat race 2 and the King of the Hill, and then Sunday we do lower mains and A mains. So we will have fun tonight, and next up we'll be choosing picks for Blake and Evan.
players who have had a hard time all our turn 1 and 2. I think it's okay, report by the officials over there, they're bleeding. So time.
welcome back to Rauscher Racing Weekly. I'm Blake Rauscher, and we are here at the Red Bluff Outlaws for day number 3 of the West Coast Nationals, day 2 of racing. Today we have our inverted heat races, so we're going to be mixing it up a bit. And right now we got all the cars up on the stands. We're getting stuff ready to go, make sure everything's nice and tight, everything's all lubed up. We got the right tires on, make sure we're ready to go out there and get stuff done. Yesterday we all had pretty good heat races. We were all running up towards the front of our heat races. And then 2 of us finished good. I didn't finish good. I messed up. But the other 2 boys, they did really good yesterday. So hopefully we can go out there and do it again.
So, yeah, Blake basically said it all. We are here for night number 3 of West Coast Nationals. We are all 3 working on our cars to get ready. The inverted heat race means the kid that started on the pole of one will start in the back of the next, and the car that started dead last will start on the pole. So we'll go out and we'll have fun and see if we can put it in the King of the Hill, and if we put it in the King of the Hill, we're in the features. So we're gonna have fun and then roll into day 4.
Yeah, yesterday my day went pretty good. Started 8th and worked my way up to 3rd. Then the 22 kid doesn't know how to drive, runs everybody over, ran me over 2 times in a race. Cost me a lot of points. I could have been tied for 4th right now, but right now I'm sitting 7th. I think they take like top 8 or 12 to King of the Hill, so hopefully I can lock myself into it like I did in the showdown. But besides that, just changing some tires to get ready for the next heat race.
So right now, this is how we're trying to stretch a tire. You try to get stagger. You try and you hear the guys say, measure this for that. So we change the wheel. So we heat it. I'm just sitting here spinning. It's a luxurious job because we want it to stretch. So it's got about 100 pounds of pressure in it and heat. And in a bit they will measure it and see if it's gotten kind of where they want.
Last minute track prep right before Blake's heat race.
Got done with my 2nd heat race today, and we started 4th in our heat race, and off the bat I don't even know what was going on. The car felt good, but I don't know, I guess I wasn't driving it right or something, and I was fighting for position. And then one time I came off a little high, I guess, and this one car below me kind of pushed me into the wall a little bit. I got close to the wall, I thought I was gonna hit the wall. I was like, I don't know, I was trying to get on the clutch, got on the brake a little bit too much, I guess, and I killed the car. And then we restart. I started passing some of the slower guys in the back, and then I went to go up to the high side. There was one right there. I thought she was gonna continue to go a little faster. I guess I was maybe driving the car too hard. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not used to driving at this track. I just can't, I'm in my own head right now. I can't get my laps in. I'm doing really bad. And I spun out and I ended my heat race. So right now we're sitting really low in points. Not having a really good weekend. Hopefully we can go out there and do something on the qualifier. If I'm even in one, we just checked and my number wasn't on there for some reason and stuff seemed a little mixed up. So hopefully we get that figured out and we can go out there, finish off the day good, hopefully.
I want to talk about my heat race. My heat race, I didn't do my job. I sucked. I tried to drop the wing down to try and free me up because that was also some of my issue and it didn't quite work. So we'll start probably pretty deep in a qualifier, and I have to win the qualifier if I want the slimmest a chance of making King of the Hill. But I think Evan, he's locked into King of the Hill, so we will try and have fun for 10 more laps tonight and see if we can either get a really good starting spot in the B or be towards the back of King of the Hill.
Welcome back to Rauscher Racing Weekly. I'm here after my day of racing. I didn't have a really good day today. I didn't finish a race. I haven't finished a race all weekend. I'm done early. Evan's still in his suit. He's got the pole shuffle coming up soon. He was the last car to get into that, so hopefully he can work his way up and start and get in the feature. So tomorrow I have a B main or C main. Who knows? All I know is I'm probably starting in the back. Hopefully I can finish a race. But yeah, I'm done, so I'm out here sunbathing. I don't even know, so I'm just out here. Worked on my car. We broke a lot of stuff today, got it all done, so now I got some time to relax.
last qualifier didn't go as planned. It turns out I'm pretty sure I was like the most passing person in my heat races, so that's why I started in the back of it, next to the 46. And I just kind of followed him up there, got up to 4th after getting that crash, and then I just entered too low and was going too fast and got on the brakes too hard and spun out. So that was my second caution. That into my ninth. Then we come back in and we found out that my shifter was broken, so we had to go get a new shifter, bend it out again, make it fit, and now we're just, all we gotta do is just set tire pressure, and we're just waiting for the King of the Hill to start up. This is my only, it's like basically a dash. This is like my only second one I've ever been here. The other one was at the showdown, so that's pretty cool for me. I was the last one in it, so I can't lose anything besides I'm locked into the A. If I don't go anywhere in the dash, I will start 8th, but besides that, I'm locked in, so hopefully we just don't tear anything up and just finish.
and my shirt because for one, I didn't do my job in the heat race, dug myself into a hole. In the qualifier, I did okay. I started third, finished third, so I did get some points there. I should get 4.5 points because I passed a car and then lost 0.5 point for falling back. So I should get 4.5 points there, and I am sitting 10th in points. So I missed King of the Hill by 2. So that'll put me outside front row of the B main. The car next to me is pretty fast in the B, so me and him should run away with it. So hopefully we can put it in the show tomorrow. We have a pretty good shot at putting it in the show, so we're gonna have fun.
How's it going? We're finishing up our second day at West Coast Nationals here. Brent did pretty good. He's 10th in points, but he missed the King of the Hill, basically a pole shuffle by 2 spots. They only take the top 8 and 250s, so I think he should start pretty close to the front of a B main. Tomorrow, I'm hoping we can put it in the big show.
he really showed up for his qualifier race. Very proud of him. He started third, finished third. He lost a spot on one of the starts and drove back up. He was aggressive and he did his job. He was able to maintain a spot on a honestly really hooked up track still, but it's starting to go pretty slick, and I'm excited to go watch Evan and his King of the Hill and see how he does. We'll move on to tomorrow and hopefully move to the A main.
Welcome back to Mom's Corner. You gotta restart, little fuck. Welcome back to Mom's Corner. I'm Samantha Rauscher.
And I'm Kim Rauscher.
And we are going to talk about, West Coast Nationals, 4 days of racing. It was
insane.
A lot of going, a lot of running. And this is the first time, I guess. Well, I mean, you've been selling your tumblers, but this is the first time you had like a booth there. You had to kind of be away from the action.
Yes. Yeah, I had a booth set up in the pavilion, so I got to watch from right there. But I didn't get to be in the hubbub and help the kids or be on that end.
And they're big enough. I mean, Blake, Evan, and Brent, they all get dressed. They know the routine. It's not like the moms have to like get their shoes out or anything like that. It's just about watching the time and kind of reminding them, hey, it's time to get going. Let's go. And just kind of that, and it's different when there's two of us. We can kind of holler at whoever's up next. Not that there weren't other people in the pits, but it was just kind of, I was watching Fast Four in the trailer and trying to see the lineup because it was different. OIs were first on the schedule this weekend, and so that meant Blake and Evan both were first out for everything. There wasn't like a class to watch and then say, oh, you guys are after this one. So that was a little bit different, I think.
That was a lot different. And then just the whole layout of this race. We've never ran a race. We've been in the West Coast Nationals. I think this is our third or fourth one. And this is the different kind of setup and running than we've ever dealt with before. So that was a lot different. King of the Hill and the heat races being on different days, and there was qualifiers, and they wrote their starting places down. Everything was a lot different for us.
Yeah, so something that was kind of cool, and you guys see some footage of from the grandstand perspective, is from OI's up, they did pill draw, but they pill drawed for when they were going to choose their heat. So number 1 chose first and number 100 chose last, and everyone in between. So they actually got to pick and choose what heat they started and where they started based on what was open or left. And so that was kind of unique and new, I guess, for the setup. Practice was Thursday. Went into practice. Brent was one and done. Of course, he'd been there all year in his same car. He wanted to test one adjustment. He felt good and put his car in the trailer. Blake needed a few more. He's had a rough Red Bluff season, so he really wanted to get all the track time he could. And I think all of practice, we didn't really know what class he was going to run, right? It was it was
kind of up in the air. So we started the day, we wanted him to run OI. We wanted him to have more laps to turn. But we had to clear that with the owner of the track and the promoter, I guess, director of competition is the word I'm looking for. He had to give the okay because typically when you are racing, you can't go down a class. But since Blake had only ran 1 and I think a half races at Red Bluff this year, they allowed him to do the OI. But we were in the air for quite a while.
And I think even through Friday we were in the air because I think the conversation was kind of, we're going to watch you, and if we feel like we need to, we're going to bump you up. So we had to be kind of prepared for that. We felt confident that Blake should be in OI, and he wasn't going to go out there and just set quick time and do those things. I mean, we felt like he'd be competitive, but he wasn't going to be quick time and get it done and get kicked to the open. So it was nice to kind of see that adjustment for him, and he turned some really nice practice laps. I think Evan did 2 or 3 sessions, and
I think he did 2. He was going to do 1 and be done, but he wanted to give it 1 more shot. Evan was having a really rough go of it at the practice.
Sometimes the drivers, all drivers, but ours especially, they get locked into that number on the screen. I mean, 20 years ago, and even when Derek and David were racing, we couldn't always see their qualifying time. It was just like, oh, you looked good out there.
Yeah, they did a lot of pill draw, though.
Yeah.
Our guys did a lot of pill draw. They didn't have to qualify. I think David qualified maybe 1 race. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal, but our kids do. They watch those numbers constantly.
They kind of see where they stack up and who's in front of them, who's behind them. And sometimes those numbers really, they don't love to see what they see, but it's a lap. It's not a race lap. And to me, it's a big difference about, whether you can pass a car and have speed or have no speed and pass a car. Those are 2 different things. So difference.
Yeah, I think that Evan especially, he really looks at that number every week and trying to get him, in this week in particular, his deal was, my brother's on the track with me and he's beating me at practice. So I had to really talk him down as a mom to be like, you're just as good of a driver as he is. And they each, as you'll see throughout our racing, they each had their good days and their bad days. So, I think, they have to get off the numbers. Some of the best racers of all racers don't qualify well, but they can kick your butt at racing.
Yeah. I think that some of the default is there's so much points locked up in qualifying that it just sucks sometimes to not be good at qualifying. But it is what it is, and qualifying doesn't set the whole night. It sets a minute of the night, and we just kind of live in that.
Yeah.
So I think in the footage today you guys saw practice, some heat racing. So stay tuned for the rest of West Coast Nationals next Wednesday at 10 a.m. on CSTV, Rauscher Racing's Facebook, and Brent Rauscher Motorsports YouTube.